Good morning. I decided to share with you my morning routine. So here you see me, I just woke up and I'm starting my day with taking my little formula prayer book that I have had for 15-20 years. Not the same book. I've bought a few extra copies because I keep destroying it from just use. And I just read some formulas. I try to stay in this place of silent contemplation for anywhere from 10 minutes to whatever can work out for me that day, and so that I can create inner connection and I can come out into the world with a sense of connectivity, connecting from a place of silence within and creating an intention or mindfulness for my day. After that, I go outside in the garden to just check on all the plants, if anything needs watering. Here, Nana, Lori's grandma, gave us a jar of coffee grounds, and I put them in the garden for the horrible zucchini vine borer. So here is one of the beds. I've planted these cucumbers not so long ago, and they're already looking like big plants. I planted this at the same time, and you see not everything takes off the same way. And that is the pomegranate tree, and let's go see. Alright, distributing more of the coffee grinds. They're said to maybe repel a little bit borers. Also, as you see, the white powder is diatomaceous earth, so, and aluminum foil, so I try to protect the plants. And the cucumbers seem to be suffering less of, of this pest, but we're doing our best and learning as much as we can. It is really the most calming work there is, just working with the plants and trying to learn, really.
Right there on top of the moon, we could sit and do nothing. I wish we were bold to.
And a quick tour. Here, as you can tell, it's a lot of cucumbers. They're still not fruiting this bed. And cilantro. I cannot wait for them to start fruiting. I don't think I can ever have too many because I'll juice them if it's too many. And this is okra. Those are the zucchini there. We have a zucchini borer, so that's our main pest. And the second the okra gets it's fire ants, and they're pretty harmful to the plants. And that's why you see the white, that's diatomaceous earth to kind of protect them from the ants. Those are radishes, really good spicy radishes, and that's the watermelon patch. And as you can tell, there is little watermelon. Can you tell? Right there. There is a few watermelons, but that's the one I can see right now to show you. They're little and so cute. Those are sunflowers there, and we have a lot more sunflowers. Those are cucumbers, and I see that this one is starting to form. So that's exciting because we want that. These zucchinis suffered a vine borer, something that it's a moth that lays eggs in their stems, so I have to wrap the stems. I didn't wrap it on time in the beginning. I thought they'll make it, but that's the things you learn as you go. So now I don't think I'll ever let zucchini just fight on their own, not in this climate. And here is my guy. He's just gorgeous. What can I say? And I named him Felice. Yeah, and those are tomatoes and beans and marigolds and such. In a row of sunflowers that hopefully will become big sunflowers. I really want to show you the cucumber pollinator. Is this massive bumblebee. Of course, he goes flower to flower. Oof. He crashed into us almost. Yeah, he's awesome. We have a lot of Texas is the place of gorgeous bugs. No shortage of bugs. Look at him, he's doing the job. Because sometimes I pollinate the tomatoes. Ooh, He keeps shaking us out. He thinks we're a flower. And here is Lottie's butterfly house. She of course did the design. Alright, so I'm gonna pick a little bit of lemongrass and we'll go make tea. And I will pick some herbs now, again, for the tea. A few citrus trees and a marigold here. A citrus tree there. We converted the fire pit to a sunflower and corn patch. Of course, there's kabocha pumpkins. Hope, wish me luck that they grow. They're still in the baby stage, and I'm really impatient. Unlike, not like a yoga teacher should be. We got a fire pit. So time to make coffee, and I'll use my new face while making coffee because coffee takes a while to make. And I'm using the pour over method, and also using my new face, which I really love. And if I wake up way early, I do it in the morning before Lottie wakes up.
Right there on top of the moon, we could sit and do nothing.
This month we're going to do strong classes, but also a lot of physical therapy each week. And in each strong class I will include physical therapy inspired sessions. So we'll work on a lot of hip work because the hips affect the shoulders and the knees. They're the link. They communicate to the other joints from their elbows and ankles and so forth. So we're going to use, for a lot of the classes, a block, and for some we're going to use a foam roller, or you can use tennis balls or massage those medium-sized balls for rolling your muscles out. But we're going to prepare that for the following weeks. This week we're just using a block, and we're working on the SI joint, the psoas, the hips, the pelvic girdle, the back, and we'll do some shoulders in the coming weeks. We'll do a lot of work on rebalancing the body so that when we do strength exercises, we're actually using our balance. Let's not crush in here. And this is just for me to stretch it out as I wake up. And even rocking, shaking, all of those things are going to be very important in working with our emotional body so that we can process reality, emotions, and the world in a more cohesive, coherent way, in a more harmonious way. So we're not shutting down when there is things we can open up to. We're not immediately jumping into fear and shutting down, but we're actually seeing the opportunity and opening up to it to see where we can grow and how we can be the force in the world that is there to bring more light. So it is finally time to drink some coffee. Lately I've been enjoying coffee, oolong tea. This is an Ethiopia coffee, and I will decide on a theme of a class. I take a moment to choose an herb or to choose the class and think about what I'm gonna, which part of the herb I'll focus on. I like to have a theme. It does help me with moving through the class in a brand new way, exploring, being experimental. So a theme is definitely something that can channel a class. So I like to choose a theme, and definitely the themes, as I change the themes, the classes change, which is not intentional. It just happens. Now while I'm drinking my coffee, or when I do my face, all of this happens while Lottie is sleeping, and if I wake up way before her, which typically I do because we go to bed together. So I usually try to have 2 hours before she wakes up, 2-3 hours before she wakes up, to do the garden, the coffee, to sit down. Right now I'm watching a really interesting video. I'll try to link it below if I don't forget, by John Ross, and it's about the germ and terrain theory. He's quite interesting. And I have been watching some really interesting, since this pandemic started, very interesting information, because it is the time right now to dive into accelerated growth. Until now, a lot of us have been preparing for this time. There was always this vague feeling that this time is coming, and it is important time in the development of the collective soul, individual soul, in awakening. And something I've been thinking about is that we all have a different curve of understanding reality, and especially when reality shifts, when we go from a certain type of reality into a different, if things shift and reality changes shape, if it starts to morph, or if some of the veil becomes thinner and we see more of reality, more of the real world, people have a different way of adjusting to the new. Some people jump in right away. That's me, Mars in Aries. I immediately understand what's happening. I have an immediate reaction. That does not just apply for societal stuff, personal stuff. If something is traumatic, I'll be the one on the spot understanding what's happening. There's people that shut down and years later begin to deal with trauma. There's people that it takes a while to react, to respond, to have an understanding of what's happening. There's people that just have a very contained reaction at first. There is different reactions. It can be seen in the chart. So I feel that more people are going to start catching up to realizing that life has changed, and it will be a new life, a different, and it's really important what we do and how we approach it in order to create a world that we like our kids to live in. So I'm not gonna make this video serious. I haven't really done any serious videos. The only seriousness coming from me is a yoga class, but I keep chit chats to stuff at home, and I will try to link the video to germ versus terrain theory. Really important, very very important. And in these times, one more thing I wanted to say. In these times, the undealt trauma that we have had through the life, things that we thought we can ignore or things that we just shut down, are all coming up. And that's why we're dealing with people's shadows far more, because everything that was undealt can resurface. And it is a good time to really work on the self. This is times our souls have chosen to come into. There was always, for me, this understanding that these are crucial times in human history, in our soul evolution timeline. In general, those are big portals, gateways, and of course, such things come with a lot of external challenges, and we're only in the beginning of the challenges. I feel the first part of this year was the mellow, the nurture the inner world, try to be not to be reactive, and try not to jump into impulsive reactive mode some part of the year. And the second would be a little more exuberant or a little more out there. So it is an interesting time in human history where we are separated from each other, and there is the opportunity to develop our spiritual connection, communication with the divine, and so forth. So yes, do use those times to develop further, to look inward more, to even look into new careers and such. So all right, cheers. And I will lay down and edit the videos now with a little bit of a view. Journey checking out the garden. Usually in the morning I try to maximize it because it's before I shoot. I do whatever work I need to do on the computer. Usually I write the schedule, I work on other things on the website. I have quite a bit of work every day. And right now I'm sipping that herbal tea that I prepared, and I'm gonna be getting ready to start shooting because Lottie woke up. She goes to Nana for 2 hours, and I shoot the classes then. And that is my morning routine. I try to take a little bit of time to myself so that I'm coming from a place of balance, because if I don't do that, and that is very important, something to remember, to always take, even if it's 1 minute to yourself, to just quiet down so that you can respond to life, to the world, from a place of you feeling good first. Because if you're off imbalance, no balance that day, then all your responses, reactions to the world are going to be from that place. So I try to do a little bit for my face, not every day, but if I wake up a few hours before her, I'll sneak that in. I usually combine it with learning, watching a video. I always have a line of videos that I want to watch, a few longer documentaries, and I watch them in pieces. So I take 20 minutes for that, and then some work on the website, and then now it's time to put my yoga outfit on and shoot a class. Today I'm gonna focus on the shoulders because with the gardening and with with a toddler, I don't have the posture I used to have pre-mommyhood, even with being a yoga teacher. That happens, that is part of life. So I'll do a class on shoulders and back, and of course, as always, some strength building and cardio and vinyasa and all of that. But thank you for joining me for my morning routine. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any requests, let me know for another video that is not just a class, and I'll come back and share it with you. Hey Sophie!